stage of this once again. Yeah. Don't know how I talk about money back when I was poor. How you do that? Had to speak it to existence like a magic show. Abracadabra. I never been selfish. Never. But I also never had this shit again. In my head I want average. Smoking little blunts, but I never was embarrassed. Never like to play the game on easy. Like you might turn it no matter what you believe in. Getting cross cut deep and turn to bleeding. Bad vibes around me. I ain't need it. My nigga want to know this, but sometimes I ride low key with a big iron. I just want to feel normal one time. On life, I'ma go with this crunch time. Exes in my DM, see them, look on my whole new nigga. But it's always one hit, two stay down, so I label her Rilla. I see you throwing shots on your Insta snap. They don't fuck your head, get you slapped. You ain't living like that, bitch, chill out. Hey, you ain't living like this, bitch, chill out. Hoes dreaming, come up off of the end, they just looking at you as a ticket. When they took that
All right, all right. Welcome to the Coach Flowers Show. Right, so we are definitely happy to be here. This is a St. Thomas Friday. So glad to have Coach Flowers here today. So thank you so much, Coach. Let's jump right into it, Coach. You got St. Thomas this Friday. There's a lot of talk on the streets as well as in the high school arena that this is your toughest competition yet. So we're gonna get into that. But first of all, Coach, we definitely want to know how was this week of practice coming off the big win in Hollandale? How was this week in practice getting ready for St. Thomas?
Very intense, man. Very intense. The kids know the severity of the game. The kids understand, the importance of this game. This is for the district title, man, and this is also for home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So, we're definitely the underdogs. A lot of kids listen to the social media and they listen to the hype of the other team, and they're really taking that and they understand it's us against the world, man. And so they really prepared for this game. They enter practice with a no nonsense attitude, and they're ready to play.
Right, Coach. And before we go into it, Coach, we definitely got to talk because you're a Dillard alum yourself. And I think I have it correct that you did play against St. Thomas when you were at Dillard. But talking about the history of this rivalry, okay, looking back on it, in the last, since 2004, you guys are 1-7 against St. Thomas. But, going back into the 80s, 90s, 2000s, where Coach Otis Gray built a great Dillard program, a national powerhouse, and then St. Thomas, George Smith coming in behind him, going into the 90s and the 2000s and building a national powerhouse there at St. Thomas. Talk about, what is the biggest difference in the rivalry now versus when it was back in the 80s, 90s when Dillard was kind of really running over St. Thomas. So talk about the difference now. What do you see, Coach?
Well, I see the culture, man. The culture changed, and a lot of these kids want to be where the hype is. You know what I mean? And so, being that St. Thomas has been winning, state titles in the last few years, that's where everybody wants to go instead of building and chopping wood to get where you want to be. And that's what we did when I played. I came out in 1997, and the last time we beat them was in 1995. That was my sophomore year. And so, I shared that story with our kids, and they're really like, Coach, we got your back. We're gonna bring it back to you again. Just like I say, the difference is that the kids nowadays, like I say, they want to go to where the hype is. And back then, we stayed at our home school, and we wanted to play against those guys. I was recruited to go to St. Thomas as well, so I chose not to go. I wanted to stay home. Right. Dillard is my home. And so I take that personal to know that those guys are able to go out and recruit and do the things that they want to do to get the players in. And we got to, get it from the mud, so to speak. Right. You know what I mean? So I really, these kids really take pride in what they do. They're Dillard kids, and they're taking this rivalry on head first, man.
Right. And talking about that, Coach, St. Thomas does recruit all over the country, especially in the backyard of programs like Dillard. So talk a little bit about what a victory tonight would mean for not only the Dillard program, but the community of Dillard High School. What would it mean, Coach?
Well, for years, the persona of Dillard being recruited by St. Thomas and St. Thomas taking our kids, I think that's no more. Because the kids understand that at Dillard you can still win. We have kids with several offers just like they do. We have kids that have great talent just like they do. Right. And so they're understanding that they don't have to go to a school like St. Thomas to be recruited and to go to college. And we're preaching that as well. And so with us having being Dillard 6 through 12, they're allowed to go throughout the country and recruit. We recruit right there in our house. Right. So you're already in our building. You don't have to leave. You're already on campus. And so we show them that, it's okay to stay home and be a winner at home.
Right. And St. Thomas is right now 7-1, I believe. You guys are undefeated, been blowing, smoking everybody this season. A lot of goose eggs from the black hole defense as well. So, talking about a challenge going up against St. Thomas, a national powerhouse we know right now. Have you prepared your defense any differently from any other team that you may face going up against St. Thomas?
So some may say I did, but the mentality I want the kids to have is that's just another game. Right. A lot of times St. Thomas beat people just by their name, St. Thomas. So we want to show these people that they're just like any other team that we play. Yeah, they have some talent over there, but we prepare and we ready just like any other week, man. So going into this game, that was the mentality all week. That was what we're saying throughout our camp all week. Just another game. It's just another game, man.
Right. And speaking about another game, Coach, I got to ask you. I would be remiss if I did not ask you. The Black Hole defense. Now we've been following you the whole season. Your fans have been following you guys the whole season. I don't want you to give any secrets away. It's a big game, but could we possibly see some different schemes tonight that we have not seen prior to this game? Could we see something different tonight? Some different schemes that you're throwing in there?
Well, listen, like I say, just another game, man. And it's a chess match. It's not checkers.
Right.
So we going into the game with a plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, we have a plan B. We also have a plan C. So you definitely will see some different things that you hadn't normally seen before. But what you will see that's going to stay the same is the tenacity of the defense, man. We're going to fly around on the ball. We're going to play with all our records abandoned. Within the rules, we're going to hit them in the mouth.
Right.
And we just, like I said, it's just another game, man. Black hole football.
Right. Okay. All right. And your defense. We talked about your defense. Having a lot of goose eggs this season. Only one team that scored against you, Miramar, and that was a close game, 15-7. But what do you expect from St. Thomas? Do you expect any trick plays? They got a great running game. Is there anything you expect specifically coming into the game tonight from St. Thomas?
I expect them to be St. Thomas. St. Thomas. Yeah, they have a lot of talent, but they are who they are. They're not going to try to adjust for you. They're going to make you adjust to them. And they a lot of times they play mistake-free football. They try to capitalize off your mistakes. And so we're going to do the same, man. All season, we've been very disciplined. We hadn't had a lot of penalties. So leading up to this game, we pride ourselves on that we're going to try to play mistake-free football as well. So just making sure that we stay fundamentally sound and we prepare ourselves for the trick plays because they are a football team. Right. And they are human, so they can try to get some trick plays as well. So things not going the way they plan, they have to go into their plan B. That may be part of their plan B. So you always got to keep your guard up.
Right. And talking about your secondary, Coach, we talked about them before. Brinson is back there, just to name a few, Jackson and Martinez. But St. Thomas likes to push the ball down the field, okay? Big chunk plays and things of that nature in the run game as well as the pass game. So are you at all concerned about your cornerbacks back there? How do you feel like that game with the chess match between the wide receivers and the cornerbacks would go?
Well, with all due respect, man, they have some great talent at wide receiver position over at St. Thomas. And our DBs know that. Right. But at the same time, we're no slouch either. Right. Those guys take on the challenge. Antoine Jackson, he hit me up last week, called me, Coach, I'm watching the film, put me on number 4.
Right.
I'm just as good as him, if not better. And like I say, those guys are taking on the challenge. And the captain of the defense, DeMond Brinson, and I think I stated this in the other podcast, he's like my voice on the field. A lot of times I'm about to make a call. He's already make that call because he knows what's coming up next. He studies so much and he understands what's coming next. He understands down and distance. He understands formation, play recognition. So he lines all the guys up. He lets them know what plays coming, what to expect. And so those guys feed off him and, they feed off me and feed off the rest of the coaches on the defense. And that's what's going to be the difference maker, man.
Right. And just going into that a little bit more, Coach, you talked about Jackson coming to you, ready to do whatever it needs to be to win, go up against number 4. But does your players feel like they have something to prove going up against St. Thomas?
A lot to prove, man, because a lot of these guys played with each other before, played against each other in Little League football, so they know the skill set of those guys, like just as well, they know us, they know our skill set. And so, being that they understand that they're no better than I am, and they're going to take on the challenge head first, man, and go out and play, like they like to say, balls to the wall football.
Right. Absolutely. And just a couple more, Coach, what are your expectations out of your front 7? St. Thomas, they get that running game going and they pop some big plays in that running game. But what's your expectations on your front 7 that features a great running game from St. Thomas?
It's crazy that you mentioned that, man. Nazalik Kelly, he called me every day this week. Mm-hmm. And before practice, while I'm at work, Coach, watching film, I see a weakness here, I see a weakness there. And he gives bigs up to the Armando Blunt. I'm gonna play this side, and Blunt gonna take care of that. Then they go to the big D line, interior D lineman with Antonio Smith, and then we talk about Keyshawn Hudson. So those guys, they're really, really, really studying the game and understanding the weaknesses that they see, and they're ready to exploit them, man. They're really, really, really ready to play football tonight, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And coach, this has been all over social media. It's a big game. It's going to be on TV. Going to be on social media. The Dillard fans, I have not seen the Dillard fans this excited for a long, long time for just one individual game. Now, you packed the house over at Otis Gray Stadium, the Black Hole, but what do you need to see from your fans, your followers, all your supporters? What do you need to see from them coming into St. Thomas? Do they need to make a lot of noise? What do you need to see, Coach? What do you need to get your team riled up?
Well, for one, I know it's going to be packed house, but the tickets went on sale on Monday,
Yeah.
and they sold out by Tuesday evening. It was sold out. Not a ticket to be found.
They put some more out. You're right, right.
Yeah, right, right. And so I was talking to a good friend of mine this morning, Patrick Bonner. He was a quarterback over at Boyd Anderson, a good long-time friend of mine, even before high school days. And when he called me, he remembered when he was coaching at Boyd Anderson that they went to Travis Powell Stadium to play Miami Northwestern.
Right.
And he said that Miami Northwestern pulled up to the stadium with 8 to 10 buses full of players, cheerleaders, everything with police sirens sounding off, and automatic they lost the game when they got off the bus from seeing that. Right. And so just knowing that fan support will be there, knowing that it will be a packed house on the visitor side, and I'm quite sure St. Thomas is gonna bring their crowd as well. But we need to bring that community out to show these players that they do have somebody that's backing them other than the coaching staff.
Right, absolutely, and I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in there. I am a Dillard alum as well, but I am neutral as well too. But I'm sure the fans want to get there early, get in your seats, make a lot of noise when Dillard is on defense, so that it'll be a home away from home, so to speak. So, Coach, wrapping up, is there anything that you want to say, anything you want to get out before we wrap this session up?
Well, speaking of the noise, man, when I played at Dillard, man, my mom, she was at every game. Right. And she used to get a milk jug full of pennies and used to shake them up all the time. And everybody knew that was Fred's mom, man. So she'll be in town this week. So she's here today. So I told her, make sure you get your jug with your pennies so we can get the noise, man. But just the support of the fans, man, and just the support of the people to understand, what's going on and what this really means to Dillard High School from a recruiting standpoint. You know what I mean? We're not allowed to recruit. Right. But at the same time, the kids understand that Dillard is back. This is a statement game. The narratives has been that Dillard hasn't played anybody. Correct. But I say give anybody in the country our schedule and see if they can do the same thing we've done. Right. Even if we haven't played anybody. So that's speaking volume for our offense, our defense, and our special teams, and our coaching staff, from the band to the cheerleaders to the fans. We just need everybody there to understand what's going on and to bring that support, man.
Right. And just one more question, Coach. Just give us 2 keys. We're not asking for 3 keys, but 2 keys to the game tonight that you feel like should happen. If so happen, you have a great chance to win. So what are your keys for the game tonight, Coach?
Just like I stated before, being disciplined. Mm-hmm. Being disciplined, because a team like St. Thomas, they like to capitalize off your mistakes and understanding what's happening to you. I tell the kids all the time, I don't care what happens to you on the field. I care how you react to what happens to you on the field. So having a cool level head, we may get scored on first. Who knows? But at the same time, the game is not over. It's a game. So it's now your turn to punch them back in the mouth. So with that being said, man, we just gonna go out there and play good football and make it happen.
Absolutely. Coach, greatly appreciate you joining us here today on the Coach Flowers Show. Fans, followers, please get your tickets. If it's still any more tickets, maybe you want to line up on the gate. Coach Flowers' mom is going to be there with the jug, with the pennies, so somebody else can get that same penny and so shake Dillard for a win tonight. So, Coach, good luck on your game tonight. The best to your players, the fans, the followers, and hoping for a win for you tonight, Coach. Take care of yourself.
Man, I gladly appreciate it. Take care, baby.
All right, Coach.
All right.